Welcome back to feedback and review of gameplays on StarCraft 2. I am going on to part 2 of wooahSora's, who has submitted 2 games into the TVT subreddit. And in this game, we have a lot of different supply caps that are way late in the game versus our opponent who didn't. We're in the low diamond. This area is littered with Smurfs, people that are not playing at their actual skill level, people that are doing some crazy stuff. And we have a barcode against our wonderful Terran that has submitted this. So this is a second TVZ that we're going to go into. The last time what we did notice is that Sora did not really do a great job of expanding when it was time to do so, or expanded a little bit late. Didn't tech up great after the initial build, aka we're missing out on our ghost production or ghosts early enough on, and didn't really do a lot of harassment after the initial, hey, I should send this Reaper across, or these Hellions should go across. That was pretty much where their harassment stopped partway through the game, and arguably had he continued to do so, he would have been able, or he or she been able to continue their harass, would have been able to probably have won the game, because they had a 200 supply versus 130 supply. So we're going to go right into it. We're going to jump right into the game. It's going to be loading up here momentarily. Again, this isn't Diamond. It's Terran versus Zerg. Everybody's favorite matchup, as far as I know. Obviously, there's some people that don't love this matchup, the Protoss players, because there's no Protoss. But conceptually, we understand that. Sora did do a wonderful job with their opening build order. So we do know that's a great... not something that we really need to pay attention to. Does do a scout early on, which is very important, knowing what your opponent's going to be going for. Makes it so you can make decisions around what units you're going to send and have ready to go. Does the little gap thing, so if there's a 12 pool, this can be problematic. Chances of that happening are pretty slim. Ooh, we got a funny hatchery. Ooh, cheeky stuff. This is why you actually put your barracks in the little snuggie hole right here, is because if they do something crazy like this, you already are in position. You don't have to lift and reposition, etc. He is going to find out pretty soon that this is there. We're going to go ahead and see how long it takes him to see it. Interesting. Why is the command center up here? Sees the spawning pool early. I would still check around. This is probably one of those builds that they hadn't seen before. Sees that instantly. Goes, oh crap. Builds the bunker up top. Doesn't have a full wall off. Doesn't get the wall off up. Oh no. Okay. But imagine if you didn't have, if your barracks was just forward, you wouldn't have this problem at all. Tank is correct. Reaper should be on the other side, harassing. They're slowlings, at least for now. And, excuse me. Also a bunker on this side, so that you can shut down these spines that are going to just reach in and do this. Really unfortunate that you didn't take out the Overlord while they were building. And unfortunately, you're in a situation where they're going to just slowly poke forward. They're going to kill your other supply depot. I see you built more in the back, which is great. Make this an orbital, and you can afford it. Doesn't have to be right now. Your opponent has 600 resources. I'm knowing that this game is as long as it is, I'm very impressed that you made it so late. Your opponent should have flooded you with lings at this point, killing as many SCVs as possible. They failed to do so, and that's not fun. Obviously, nope, hold position. Hold position's your friend. You will eventually be able to push them away, but like, imagine if they had speedlings in your base while this is going on. You'd be so screwed, it's not even funny. And I'm not blaming your play in any way, shape, or form. This is a cheese. It's something that you don't expect. You don't know it's coming. It's really hard to deal with. And it's something that is very challenging for new players. And then he's being really annoying and doing creep tumors all over the place. Oh, God. Running the spine crawlers across the map. Ooh. That one right there hanging out. Marines, go get the Overlords. You just saw it. Go get it. You don't care about that. No, go get the Overlords. You know that they had to build them, and they built them in the wrong position. Darn. That's not fun. Also, cleaning this up first would have been way more important than cleaning up the creep that was right outside your base that is clearly going backwards. God, imagine if you got those 2 Overlords. They would have been way closer to supply cap. they're on 2 base. You're going to be on 2 base, so make sure you're getting your 3rd. Nice, you already did that. Again, slow on your upgrades. You got to make sure you get to that stem as soon as possible. Stem. And then supply depots, more command centers. Nice, good. I see it. You're great. But stem and combat shield right now, like getting those is so important. Because if you had stem and combat shield, this army that they have, this base that they have, they cannot defend it against this. This army could have marched across the map right now, and you could have denied the 3rd and then contained them until the end of the game. Yeah, mutas are a worry. I like the turret decision. I still think you should be marching across the map, right? You did a really good job defending. You want to make sure you deny that 3rd base as much as possible. You want to make sure that you're doing your best to cause your opponent headache. This creep, you're very timid. Attack. I don't know where this command center is going. Oh, it's a misclick. Okay, cool. Make sure that you have vision of your entire base. That might go Nidus play. Whenever somebody does anything extraordinarily aggressive, they either usually continue to be extremely aggressive, or they completely go into macro mode after to recover. And imagine if these tanks, marines, and medevacs were right here, just killed this base off. They never had the ability to build all of these banelings. Even if they did, you had all those tanks. You would have won the game. It's already over. So timidness. Terran is an aggressive race. You have to be aggressive. If not, do drops. Why are your medevacs at home with 16 marines? You should be hitting the opponent's base, not necessarily going directly and blindly, but you should be on the edge, clearing up creep, making sure that they're not getting a 4th base, making sure that their 3rd base is hard to keep up, making sure that you have a vision on how big the creep is, making it so they don't know where you are. These are things that you don't think about because you're like, I'm worried about making sure I build the correct unit composition. I worry about this. Imagine if you had denied your opponents the ability to know where you were and pushed their creep all the way back, and you had made it so they don't get a 4th and no 3rd. And they had gone mutas anyways, and you already had missile turrets up, and you already got into ghosts, and you already had +2/2. Your opponent is in a situation where, get that, nice. I gotta love when that's a nice snipe. But making sure that you're denying your opponent things that you want is also important. Supply block. You're working on, I get it. You have so much energy, just drop 2. Just go double. Oh, you did right there. But denying yourself supply is not good. Again, oversaturation, you're not expanding fast enough. There should be another base here. You should be working on another base down here. You should be denying your opponent's base. Terran's aggression, you want to be aggressive. You've done a really good job of learning how to be defensive. Oh my goodness, that whole army. Now you know exactly what their composition is. Liberators. You know exactly what their composition is. Liberators. And you started production on them. I would arguably... okay, it's supply block problems. Again, your opponent's pushing you and you're just sort of kind of taking it and you don't care. You lost, 2 SCVs there? But you need to expand. You need to make sure that you continue to grow. Right now, you're getting yourself starved because you're kind of being a little pat. This is good cleanup. This is exactly what you want. Pick them up. Pick them up. I know how hard it is. And then you now find out they have Hydras, which is great. It's good to know that. So your tank composition with a little bit of libs. I don't know if I would fly because you saw how much defense they did when they saw that. It's hard to say if that's a good choice or not. That's great. You got out. You did damage. You did push back their creep, making it annoying, making it so their queens have to do stuff. But where is their army? Where are not their army? Where are their bases? Where are they expanding to? Where are they going to cause you problems later on? Denying this base. Denying this base. So while you're over here cleaning this creep up, pushing in and removing this creep, another drop or another run by over here. I would not have cleared this at all if I were you. Do not clear this. This is protection for you. Put a tank here, maybe something along those lines to protect yourself, and that's all you have to worry about for a long, long, long time. It makes it so you have that much less to cover. Allow the command centers to get attacked, but cancel it before they get finished, before they die. The reason being is that slows them down, gives you the opportunity to bring this army over to help. Like, this army right here, all of these Marines and stuff, these ghosts, could have gotten here, and you could have probably saved the planetary that was here, which would have been really, really valuable for you, because then you're not getting denied on bases. Corruptor army. Now you're at the point where you let your opponent do whatever they want for so long that you're on the back foot. This is why Terran has to be aggressive, because now they can build whatever they want. They have the Corruptor Flock. They have the ability to go Greater Spire. You don't have any way to deny it. They have Ultras. They have all of the Lings and Banes that they could ever want. They have all of the units that make it so that you are not a happy camper while playing, because you haven't done anything to make it so that they can't have those units. Thor. Transition to Thor. They have Ultra. One Ultra and one Thor. I think the Thor comes out on top. And you could deny all the Corruptors, Broodlord transition that they're eventually going to think about. And they do really good up against everything except for Lurkers. And you notice that they didn't have any Lurkers yet. You've seen their army many, many, many times. No Lurkers yet. And you already have Ghosts to deal with the Lurkers anyways. So basically your composition responses are lacking at this point. I understand late game is not your thing yet. You're still learning, as are we all. Good job defending, lifting. You didn't reposition. Like, this tank army, you don't need this many tanks back here. You have idle workers. That might be okay. I would probably grab, like, these 4 tanks and move them over here. Grabbed maybe this Liberator and moved it over there. Creep denial is late. At this point, they don't care. It doesn't matter that much, other than knowing where you are. Oh my goodness, they're expanding all the way on your side of the map. That sucks. Also, good job killing that versus a denial. You can see they're growing and taking over the map. You haven't set up any additional defenses over here. That's why you're struggling to take it, and he'll just keep denying it. Your opponent, whoever they are, will continue to deny it and grab your expansions for the rest of the game. They will eventually have so many resources and so much of an army that all they'll do is they'll just send waves and waves and waves of units at you, and you can't do anything. What they need to do at this point is build like 6 macro hatches and do all of the injects on all of their bases. They have so much money, they can't spend it, and if they were able to spend all this money, this game would be over. They would have 50 more supply, they've been completely denying you over and over and over again, and just be in trouble. I like the Ghost composition. Again, you've now set up a much better army to control this point. Okay. Pause. This is the time to attack. Literally right now, you need to attack. If you don't attack after that interaction, okay, you're going to lose the game because your opponent's going to replace immediately. And you're not going to deny bases. You're not going to prevent them from expanding in perpetuity. Nothing. So let's look at this. They've only lost 10,000 resources. You've lost about 12. You're doing a good job of just kind of being out on the map now more. In this fight, they went and lost. Okay, what is their army composition that you saw at this point? They have only Corruptors, a handful of Hydras, and that's it. And we're going to assume they were maxed out at that point. It takes time for units to build. So if you now say, oh, I have most of my army still, let me unsiege half of it, and let me go make sure that they don't keep this base, which you don't have this base. That is how you win the game, because you're going to deny the base that they're ahead. In this instance, they're ahead by at least 2 bases, if not 3 bases. In this case, they're ahead 3 bases. You are mined out in your main. You are basically mined out in your natural. And so you're on 1 base mining, and they are on 4 base mining. 1, 2, 3, and of course 4. This isn't fully saturated. This is on them. They don't have enough drones to do it. Fine. But they have the resources because they've been doing a really good job of other stuff. You need to kill this base. It just needs to be denied. You need to kill the workers. You need to end this base. And then pull back. Make sure you secure this base on your expand. we're going to go ahead and play. You're too timid with your build. You like, had this army gone out with like 4 tanks and 2 liberators and those ghosts, you could easily destroy this base. You could deny them anything over there. You can see, look, he's even preparing for you to attack him. He's going, oh crap, I lost a lot of stuff. Let me get all my queens over here. And then now I have army coming, and I'm going to inject everywhere. He was ready for you to attack him. Oh, that's a lot of Broodlords. You have ghosts, so it shouldn't matter that much, as long as they don't have detection. And you have cloak. I think you do. I think I saw you get it. Oh, you didn't get cloak yet. But yeah, there's... Your opponent basically has funny money, and you don't, because you're not denying them bases. You're not forcing them to build units. You're not forcing engagements. You're not forcing them to do things they don't want to do. You're not making their life hard. They're making your life hard. They deny this base, what, 3 or 4 times? And it took you until the 3rd time to reinforce it. Like, you don't need this many tanks. Grab these 3 tanks. This tank. Those 4 tanks. Build it up. It's when they attack like this into 4 tanks, all of your planetary, and a bunch of other stuff, they're gonna lose so much value by the time they get to you that this attack is futile. Repair, 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 repair. Oh my god, you need to repair. Oh no. I get it, you're managing the snipes. But like, at this point you need to kill those Broodlords. Nice, 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 nice. Cloak would be your friend. Instantly retake it. You need to instantly retake it. It can't. You're too many bases behind at this point. Your opponent can just... They could build 50 Banelings over and over again and literally not care. That was the correct attack. That was a good attack. Problem is you needed more with it. Imagine if you had some tanks and some other stuff. But them taking your side of the map, this is game over. As soon as you see somebody on your side of the map taking your bases and denying you a base, your game is lost. I like this planetary here. It's a good call. Going Vikings might be the play, but they're taking your bases and you can't do anything about it because they just have too much money in comparison to what you have. And while they failed miserably with detection, you still, like, God, you'll see them just continuously send stuff at you, and they don't care. Like, they build Banelings in your face. This is them saying, get out of my game. I did like the Liberator range, by the way. That was a good call. Obviously, the game is going to end here shortly, but the play would... I think after watching these 2 gameplay reviews, you're going to learn a lot. It's going to be very helpful. But understanding that Terran is an aggressive race, you need to be on the other side of the map until they start getting things like Ultralisks, etc. Like, good, you're moving those. You're slowly doing the things that I need you to do. You needed to do to win, but you just are doing it a little bit too late on everywhere, and that's okay. Again, we're looking at an opponent who has a much larger composition than you, has way more infrastructure, has way more upgrades, has continuously expanded, has taken your bases, is denying you your bases. Your job as the Terran, as any player, doesn't matter your race. Your job is to deny bases and make it so their trades are expensive. If you can make that happen, that combination of things, specifically them getting bases, and being able to make it so that when they do take fights, that you have the advantage of the fight while you are macroing behind, those 3 things will get you GM. If you execute everything perfectly. Obviously, I'm not there yet. I'm not good enough to do it. But I'm simply saying that there are definitely things that if you look at how professionals play, what their goals are trading effectively. If you look, they when they go to interact, they kind of tap against each other and then run away because they know that the fight isn't going to go their way, or they want a better engagement positionally, or they're trying to deny a base. When you see somebody that's gonna win a game that's in professionals, they overwhelm their opponent. They make it so they don't have enough bases. They do something that the opponent's not expecting. The expecting thing is like really, really hard at that high a level, but I'm simply trying to... That's what a cheese is, right? Having this hatch here. Had you... God, if we had... If you had said, oh, you're trying to deny this... You're trying to deny me, right? If you had just taken this army, made sure they never got a third base, and got this base established behind it, and continued to defend with the stuff you rebuilt. And you, I mean, when I say deny, I mean, you block them off over here. You literally set up tank, 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 mariners around it, hold positioned, get your expansion, build up your army, reinforce as you go. You would have completely destroyed your opponent. You would have won this game if you had just taken this army and placed it across the map. And then spent your money. Because remember, you've been sitting in your base forever. You got 2 command centers. Get 2 more barracks. Continue to build workers, which you are. You're doing a great job. I don't know if I would have rallied it that way. I'd have probably had the mineral line. But like, had you just continued to grow at this point, spending all of your money, which you were trying, right? Like, I'm not denying that you didn't try. You absolutely... Like, and you just shut out your opponent from growing, the game is over. These 3 tanks, plus these marines, he can't fight that with these. The queens will make it tougher, but he can't fight that. The spines will never give it up. Because you're going to deny it up here. The spines you'll never be able to get creep all the way here without the tanks just shutting it down. And these creep tumors that are here, cool. Things that you'll have to worry about if you had contained him as a Nidus play and Muta. So have you kept a contingency of units back at home and been just vigilant about that while you continued to grow? Grab a Viking, kill any overlords you see around, and make sure you build your turrets and build a Thor or 2. The game is solid. You can't lose. But I digress. You did a good job defending his initial cheese. It was a good game. And honestly, GG's. And best of luck in improving. And feel free to submit some more for more feedback and reviews. I hope you'll have a good rest of the day. Thanks for watching.